A very happy morning to all of you. I'm Dr. Uma Hariharan, and I'm going to speak on a very important topic, that is literature search on the internet. This literally means litera or letter in Latin. It is a well organized systematic search of already published data to identify good references on a specific topic. There are several literature resources which are available for use. These include books, journals, research reports, institutional publications, government publications, online publications, offline publications, and what is known as grey literature, about which I will explain a little later. Now, coming to what is the exact purpose of doing a literature search? Why do we actually want to search on an internet? This is basically to draw information for making evidence-based guidelines. It has also been part of academic assessment and a vital step in all kinds of research methodologies to formulate a research question and to fill the gaps still amenable to research. Identify appropriate methodology and design of study with population and sampling methods, as well as to identify methods of measuring concepts and techniques of analysis. It is also used to determine extraneous variables affecting the outcome, as well as identifying the faults and lacunae that could be avoided. There are mainly three types of medical literature: primary, secondary, and tertiary. The primary literature is what we often search for during our literature search for any thesis or protocol writing. This includes authentic publication of an expert's new evidence, conclusions, and proposals, and are usually published in a peer-reviewed journal. Preliminary reports, congress papers, and preprints also constitute primary literature. Now, coming to secondary literature, these include systematic review articles or meta-analysis, which actually form the apex of the pyramid, where material derived from primary source literature is inferred and evaluated. And finally, the tertiary type of medical literature, wherein there are collections which are compiled information from primary and secondary literature like reference books. There are several methods of literature search which are used, and internet is now the gateway to the maze of vast medical literature which is available. There are several web-based engines which are used for literature searching, and these include our familiar Google, Google Scholar, and various other electronic databases. But the most important medical literature searching engine is PubMed, and this is the largest available resource since 1996. What information is available on PubMed? Now, PubMed, it gives link to full text and link to other databases, as well as it also gives a list of grants and list of mesh words, about which I'll come to a little later. Mesh is nothing but medical subject headings terms. Now, Medline journals are recommended by Literature Selection Technical Review Committee, and there are several strategies which are utilized by these, and these keywords with codes can be typed, as well as with manual addition of what are known as Boolean operators for a well-defined search. PubMed also uses several symbols like asterisks, codes, tags, and hashtags, which are used for signifying various methods of search. Links to full text materials are included in the citations from PubMed Central and publisher websites. Now, PubMed Central generally publishes all free full text articles, and Education Resources Information Center, by this, is a free online digital library of educational research and information sponsored by the Institution of Education Sciences of the US Department of Education. This is also there in Embassy and Cochrane Central Trials Registry, which need to be searched for doing any protocol search. Emphasis should be given to meta-analysis, systematic reviews, and randomized control trials. There are various types of searches. Number one, translating research question into keywords. Now, keywords are the main words which are entered onto any search engine to make a proper search. These can be synonyms or alternate terms which should be considered to elicit further information, including spellings. And mostly, the mesh words or the medical subject heading words, which is formulated by the National Library of Medicine's controlled hierarchical vocabulary, is used for indexing articles in PubMed. There are two features of PubMed that can increase the yield of specific articles, which is automatic term mapping, and the other one is automatic term explosion. You can also click on the related link, which is known as related article link, on the PubMed site itself, which will again give several drop down articles related to the article you are viewing at that point in time. Other search which is used is phrase search. The first one was keyword search or mesh word search. Another is phrase search. This again provides pages with only the words typed in the phrase in the exact order and with no words in between them. But the most important operators or the search items which are used are the Boolean operators. Now, Boolean operators include three keywords. They are and, or, and not. These are the three Boolean operators named after the mathematician George Boole. Combining two words using and will fetch articles that mention both the words. Using or will widen the search and fetch more articles that mention either subject. But using the term not actually leads to further specification. This word not is very useful because this is using this term to combine words which fetch articles which contain the first words but not the second, thus narrowing your search. Filters to refine the search, for example, article types, text availability, language, age, sex, and journal categories. Now, this is just an example of three types of ACL reconstructions which are done for arthroscopic knee procedures like transfixial reconstruction, ACL reconstruction, and the complications which are usually encountered. But if you type the letter and, you can see that there are three circles which are available, and these three circles, they form the correlation, or the combined area will form the and. So coming to OR. Now OR is again a very broad type of Boolean operator, meaning both these things will come, the transfixial reconstruction as well as ACL reconstruction and complications. But not is very specific. ACL reconstruction, not complications, not transfixial. So only the part which is under ACL reconstruction and not under transfixial or complications will be reflected in this. Now coming to the PubMed Boolean query, this is just a pictorial representation of Boolean operator search for lung infections and infections. So you can see that when you type lung, there are a total of, you can say, 7,20,174 articles which are coming. Now, when you type the letter lung or infections, you get so many articles. You can see here 24 lakhs 10,920 articles. But when you type the word lung and not infections, means it will only give results pertaining to lung, and the results are 66,38,108, which is far more easier to examine as compared to lung or infections. Again, one more pictorial representation of PubMed, wherein you can use it very liberally in your literature search. And when you go to the icons on the left hand side, you will have a quick start icon, the full text icon, the facts icon, as well as the tutorial icon. I would recommend everyone to undertake this tutorial, which is extremely valuable. It is better to use the mesh, that is medical subject headings, in the NLM controlled vocabulary thesaurus for indexing articles for PubMed. Now, this is another pictorial representation of how you will do a literature search on PubMed. As you can see that there is one drop down icon on the top left hand side, which is how to. So if you just click on this, several drop downs will appear and you can choose what you exactly want to do. There are several other things like help, which tell you if you need any help, you can contact them. And then using PubMed, you can also do a start guide. You can access a lot of articles, and there are several PubMed tools, and citation manager is also available. And of course, the most important is the MESH database, which you can access, and then you can do your detailed search. There are several search links which are available, which is again mentioned as I previously mentioned. There are these drop down menus, the mesh databases using PubMed, the PMC, which is PubMed Central, which has all the free full text articles part of the NLM catalog. Now again, there is one more drop down menu which is known as sort by. If you do this and you click on this button, you will get the most recent, the best match, the publication date, the author, the last author, the journal, and the title. Everything you need about a particular research will be available on this. If you press this sort button. Then you also have this where you also have the My NCBI, where there are several searches, my bibliography collections, and recent activity. For example, you used your PubMed on your PC and you have left the search for some reason and you come back again. These searches will be saved and this will be reflected when you continue your searches. Now, there are several recommendations, as I previously told you, for literature search, which include you must identify keywords and preferable to use the mesh words. Search several databases to search articles. Use thesaurus to identify terms to locate your articles. Find an article that is similar to your topic and then look for the terms. Use databases that provide full text articles. All right, your institution may have free access to several articles through subscription by the library, which you can access, and start with the most recent issue of the journals and then look back in time. Now, there are several methods of literature search. Either it will be protocol driven or snowballing, which is also known as reference chasing, and personal knowledge. For example, existing theories and basics, which can be used. These are the web addresses of various search engines which are used for Google, Google Scholar, Yahoo, and electronic source of databases like PubMed, Mesh, Medline, that is Medical Literature Analysis and Retrieval System Online, the CINAHL or the Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health, then Embassy, that is Exapta, Medica databases, Scopus, then IntMedic, Indian database, ERIC, and ProQuest. Now, these are the web addresses of all these web-based literature search engines. In addition, you also have the following resources like the Cochrane database of systematic reviews, which is very, very useful for conducting any clinical trial. The ACP Journal Club, the Dartmouth EBM database, the evidence updates of e-medicine, national guidelines, clearinghouse, Ovid medicine. Now, Ovid Medline is extremely good. I've personally used it previously. Then PubMed, the TRIP, Turning Research into Practice database, plus and UpToDate. UpToDate was previously available in our institution subscription. It is actually very good. Now, this is just a tabulation to tell you that what exactly these indexed peer-reviewed databases are going to tell you. The Medline is basically from the National Library of Medicine, and PubMed is the free search engine and maintained by the National Center for Biotechnology Information. Academic journals are covered, and this is international in scope. Embassy is again very comprehensive and maintained by Elsevier and contains over 20 million citations. It again has a very broad international scope. The Cochrane reviews are extremely useful. They contain databases comprised of formal, extensive systematic reviews that often contain meta-analysis, and there are also articles which are indexed in PubMed. And you also have the PubMed Central. Now comes the grey literature. Grey literature is nothing but literature which is not peer-reviewed or formally published in a peer-reviewed journal. And the lead federal agency charged with improving the quality, safety, efficiency, and effectiveness of healthcare in the United States is actually giving a lot of boost to this type of grey literature. And this is maintained by the AHRQ staff and provides free online access. Now, there is another one which is known as the National Clearinghouse Guidelines, which is again free public resource for evidence-based clinical practice guidelines. And there is expert commentary also available on issues of interest and importance to the clinical guideline community. So there is another one known as the INANTA, that is the International Network of Agencies for Health Technology Assessment. This is again very useful research which contains systematic reviews, ongoing and completed trials, questionnaires, and economic evaluations. Now, coming to literature review, which is again a very important part. For selecting studies for literature review, it is very important that you must compare the methods, results, findings, etc. Read the critic study, select good from those, and then tabulate information of each study and compare. So this tabulation is extremely important. So when you write a literature review for your thesis, then these are the points which you must remember: the introduction, the empirical literature, and the summary, and the purpose of the review for which you are undertaking, and the organization based on the table which I will be just putting up next. Now, this is just an example of the table of literature review which can be done, wherein you can mention the citation, the study design, the objectives of the study which you have searched for, the study population, the sample size, very important, because you need to have a proper sample size before deciding your own sample size, measurable outcomes and results, and finally the author's conclusion of that particular literature. So if you make a table like this, after doing your literature search, it will be extremely easy to do a proper literature review and come to a proper research question. So thank you very much for your patient listening. I'm really thankful to the organizers and the Med Division for giving me this opportunity. I would just conclude by telling that literature search is an opportunity to learn more about a given topic. So literature search is an eternal quest for knowledge which a doctor must keep doing at any stage in life. Provides insight on how the topic was studied by previous analysts and interpret data and ideas, and detects shortcomings and recognizes opportunities where you can improve upon. It is a systematic and well organized research, and hence this can purport a well structured novel research idea in your mind. Kindly remember to undertake this tutorial on PubMed, which is available for free on the website. This is really very helpful. And please discuss with your peers. And the impact factor of journals or articles which are cited are very important before you take those research items in your search strategy. Thank you and goodbye.